Hey guys, welcome back to Ashley's Homestead Adventures. I am in the house just for a split second here. I've had kind of like a finish up of like kitchen projects that we've been doing over the last couple videos, you know, just getting things ready for the farm stand, packaging them up, labeling them. It is another day off for me, so I am making bread. I've got 2 loaves going and a sourdough starter fed. 1 loaf just came out of the oven. So the chocolate sourdough starter is fed and getting happy on the counter. We have a porter wheat. I'll just take it down for you. We have a porter wheat getting happy on the counter. This is the first bulk rise after it stretch and folds for this. We have a chocolate raisin almond sourdough discard loaf on its second rise in the pan. This is the new honey wheat sourdough discard loaf that just came out of the oven. And of course, these are mild picante salsa or sauce that have now been labeled, as well as the muscadine jelly that we made in the last video has now been labeled, and this is all going to go to the farm stand, as well as that loaf of bread over there. They'll all go to the farm stand tomorrow. And now I'm headed back out. Anybody want to go with me? No, they went out and had their breakfast and they're like, nope, we're good. I'm just getting, I need to feed my heifer, can you tell? I'm just getting hays, grains, you know, breakfasts and stuff out. I really need to do the big chicken migration today. And I'm gonna try to explain this to where it's comprehensive, but it's a lot. And this happens when you're small time farming, and you're hobby farming, homesteading, when you're putting your meat birds in a rotation, so you're not doing like a bulk massive butcher, which is what I didn't want to do. I wanted to do 10 chickens here, 10 chickens there. Well, what it's created for me is a rotation of chickens. And so basically what needs to happen is Bart, which is my barred rock rooster, and the ladies that I'm going to keep with Bart, which my barred rock hens, they're going to go out to pasture. They're going to work on the mint. So I need to get their pasture ready. We're going to put them in an electric net, and they're going to go out and they're going to work on our mint problem. Then I need to take the chickens that are in the grow out and decide which hens I'm going to keep from that. I'm going to talk and work because my heifer is going to have a coronary if I don't get her grain. We need to get the chickens that we want to keep out of the grow out pen, including the hens. And then I'm going to pick a rooster. And then I also want to pick the ones that are ready to butcher, whatever ones are at weight to butcher. And I'm going to put them where all of the adults are right now, the pen that I just moved Bart and all of his ladies out of. So I'm going to put them in there. I need to find a spot. Along with all of my colorful egg layers. So that will give me a pen where I have my colorful egg layers, as well as the ones that I want to butcher. And I'll know the ones that I want to butcher because they'll have bands on their legs. Then I need to take the teenagers that are in the chicken tractor out in the hayfield. I need to take them and put them in the grow out pen. And then the chicks that are in the brooder in the feed room, they need to go in the chicken tractor, so that the cute little beeps that are in my incubator right now that are starting to pip and beep inside their eggs, meaning they are going to hatch very, very soon, can go in the brooder. So Bart and his girls need to go out so that I can move the butcher chickens over, so that I can put the chicken tractor chickens in the meat grow out pen, so that I can put the brooder chickens in the chicken tractor, so that I can put the incubator chicks in the brooder. I know it sounds crazy, and yes, I am the crazy chicken lady at this point. Do not ask me how many chickens I have, it's rude. It's like asking my age. But I'll show you guys as we go, and hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense. If not, just know that, you know, there's a method to my madness. Well, you're sassy today, aren't you? Huh? This video is not about you. You know that, right? I have some patience. Yes. I'll bring it to you, don't worry. Goodness gracious. Also, I want you guys who are long timers here, and even those who, you know, are not, but mostly the ones that are long timers here, you guys know that ultimately I'm growing my own food. And so respectfully, I'm spraying around her eyes, I needed to focus. Respectfully, I need to let you know that Billie Jean's freezer camp date has been made, and to give you guys the time that you want to take to enjoy watching Billie Jean and her snack times and, you know, things like that. And for my, you know, my long timers here, I'm just telling you way ahead of time so that, like me, we can all give ourselves some time for our hearts to detach from Billie Jean. She's been a staple of this channel, and she's, you know, she's a lot of fun, and she creates a lot of laughter and a lot of content for this channel. But ultimately, we've always been growing her out for food. So I just want you to know that December 20th is her freezer camp date, and so that you can prepare your hearts for Billie Jean ultimately going to our plates, which was the plan. Now, for those of you who are new here, I want to explain a little bit of how I think about that. I am a big believer in food tastes better if it's named. A lot of people ask me, how can you do this? How can you know, have snack times and make cute reels and feed your heifer apples and carrots and things out of the garden, and knowing that she's going to be a steak? How can you do that? I firmly believe that my heifer, Billie Jean, is going to taste better than the beef that I buy out of the grocery store, because she's spoiled rotten, because she doesn't know a bad day. Her only bad day is her last day, and she doesn't remember it. You know, Billie Jean honestly has never had a bad day. You know, she had some hard days when she was a bottle baby, but she really didn't struggle that much. She struggled a little bit with her BSP, her bovine sporadic paresis, which is why she is being butchered. We were going to keep her as a breeding heifer, but with the disease that she has, it is genetic, and we do not wish to spread to continue on a genetic defect, a genetic disease, and so therefore she became our eater. It doesn't affect her meat in any way. In fact, it'll probably make that back quarter very tender. But we did not want to, A, put her through carrying any extra weight on that leg by having, a baby, and B, we didn't want to take a chance of her baby carrying that gene on. So Billie Jean became, our eater, and she hasn't had a bad day. She's had grain every day of her life that she could chew. She has had any number of things coming out of the garden, from zucchini to pumpkins to watermelons to, she loves sweet banana peppers of all things. I did not know, but she freaking goes crazy for those. Apples, carrots, peaches. She gets fly sprayed every day, and we love her. And I am a big believer of the food that I eat. I would like it to be loved. That is why we moved here. That is why we do what we do. And not all of my chickens are named, but my chickens do get snacks. Even my grow outs, they get bugs. I spend the extra $13 to $24 for the 4-pound bag of bugs at Tractor Supply. They get bugs. They get kitchen scraps. I make their feed for them. They are more spoiled than your regular run-of-the-mill chickens, and it means something to me that they have a good life while they're here, up until the time that they are dispatched, which is very fast. And so there's just my little spiel about why we do this, and the honesty of, yes, Billie Jean's adorable. We get a lot of joy out of her, but she has always been meant for the freezer. And she has always been meant to be building meat to nourish my body. So there you go. She has a date. And we will miss her. I will miss her. But she will have done her purpose on this earth for us. And I will appreciate her meat all the more because of all the joy that she's given me. Let's see. I get so much joy out of that girl. Oh. She cracks me up and drives me nuts all at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to explain a little bit of this here. And I'm going to kind of like do chicken chores in the midst of doing all of this moving and stuff. But basically, this is the pasture right here that I want Bart and his ladies to work on the mint. So I need to come in here, and the first thing I'm gonna do, open this up, because I need to get the mower in here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in with the mower, and I'm gonna mow all of this down. And the mint area, that is mint. It's a wild mint, and we have a bit of a problem with the wild mint. As you can see, this is what it looks like. And so I am going to, this is the biggest concentration in this particular pasture. So this is where I'm going to set up the net, but I need to first come in and chop it down to make it easy for them to ingest it, one, and to rake it up. We're hoping that they will just take it down to dirt and rake up all the rhizomes, or at the very least just, consume a good portion of it. So we will see how this works, and then I'm just going to go ahead and mow it down. Anyway, that's good for the pasture too. So and as I'm mowing, of course, I'm going to have to pick up all of these sticks and branches and get them thrown closer to the burn pile. Redneck Ingenuity is going to help me with their nesting box, which I believe is going to be a dog crate, and their roosting bars, which my chickens don't have any problem roosting outside. And so they are going to get, I'm trying to think of what they're called. I feel really stupid for not knowing. Sawhorse. They're going to get a couple sawhorses and a couple 2x4s for roosting bars, and a dog crate for nesting box. And you know, they're going to be mobile. They're going to be moving. So we will see how that works out. You know, we're just going to kind of trial and error this. Okay. But I'm going to show you their coop. So for those of you who don't know, these are my two coops. The right hand side is the grow out pen. The left hand side is my adult chickens. All of the barred rocks that I am going to keep out of the adult chickens and the rooster, Bart, are going to go to the pasture. Now there will be barred rocks in here when I'm done, but those will either be A, butcher chickens, or B, replacement chickens. So I'll explain that when I get there. But first I'm going to, because they're gonna move, I'm gonna go ahead, check and clean waters. And they do have food, I see, but I wanna make sure that they've got access to fresh, clean waters. I'm gonna go ahead and check and refill their pool, let them get nice and cooled off. It's not a super hot day, before their big move. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then get the mower and get their new pen set up. Hi ladies, big move today. Oh, and everybody that's moving to the pasture is going to get both sets of wings clipped. We can't take any chances of them just, you know, willy-nilly flying out of the electric net. So we're gonna go ahead and clip both of their wings, and that is just clipping the feathers. For those of you who don't know chickens, I know that it sounds really harsh when people say clip the wings. And all that means in my terms, at least, I know that there's different places and different, you know, analogies for different, know that there are places that this is not the case, you know, that they do surgically clip like parrots' wings so that they don't fly away when they're pets, okay? That's not what we're doing here. This is just trimming of the feathers. There is no pain involved in this. There is no cut skin. There is no blood. All it is doing is basically just giving them a haircut, but it's a feather cut. That's all that it's doing. So it's not painful. And I just want you to know that on the front side. I don't say it, you know, willy-nilly because I'm trying to make light of it. It really isn't a big deal. They're just going to get their wings clipped and get a new dew before they go out to pasture so they can't fly the coop. that turned out to be a great big area. But I'm gonna go ahead and give it a whirl. There's mint in all of it. So we're gonna go ahead and let them, at the very least, be grazing chickens, and hopefully eradicate this mint. We'll see. Okay, now that we are all set up, I brought my scale out, but we are going to go sprinkle feed around where we want them to scratch. Okay, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to, well, first I'm going to weigh Bart because I'd like to know how much he weighs. And then I'm going to weigh a big fat barred rock hen, like such as this lady right here. And that gives me a base point to know how big my hens get at full size. And then I'm going to start taking the ones that I want to keep, Bart, and the ladies that I want to keep, the barred rock ladies I want to keep, and moving them out to their pasture. I know you're mad. I know. Well, let's see how much old Bart weighs. By the way, check out Bart's talons. Bart only weighs 6 pounds. Hi, Bart. Do you want to say hi to Bart? Up close and personal? Say hi to the people, Bart. I dropped one. She got away from me. Okay, so we have 15 chickens out in the pasture, and that includes Bart. My biggest hen was 7 pounds. Bart is 6 pounds. Now, what's left in this coop at the moment is just cull hens, barred rock hens that I'm not going to keep for whatever reason. I don't like the way that they look. I don't feel like they are at optimum health, whatever. They're small, whatever the case may be. And also there is my colorful group in here. Along with Bart. Now Bart is not Bart, I'm sorry, Yang. And they're all hiding under here because I've been catching everybody. Yang is not staying. So this is all that we have left inside this coop, and now I'm going to start bringing in, I'm gonna bring in hens and a roux that I want to keep, which is actually probably gonna be that roux right there that just came out from underneath. I like him, I like his little floppy hat. I think I'm gonna call him Marco. Anyway, so one roux, and then I'll take his band off because I'm gonna keep him. He's not a butcher boy anymore. And then I will bring over hens that I want to keep, and I'll take their bands off. And then I'll bring over what I want to butcher, and I'll leave their bands on. So I'll know that if they're not a part of this original group, which is pretty easy to tell which ones I'm culling from my adults, if they got a band on, they go. So come butcher day. I'm not fully succeeding on the fence over there. I'm kind of working on it. The problem is that's a sheep net, and the ground is not fully even, so the bottom strand on that's not hot, so if it's elevated at all, they're getting underneath it. But they're also adjusting to having all of that room over there and wanting to come back here to their original coop. So hopefully, you know, I may have to put hens back for a little while, but hopefully they'll get used to when they try to go through the fence, they get zapped, and they'll get used to being pasture chickens. So anyway, I'm gonna go to doing that. I'm just gonna start sorting through these guys, weighing them and seeing what we're gonna butcher and what we're gonna keep. Take your band off. Welcome to the flock. Three barred rocks. Ooh, I let go of your foot. That was a mistake. All right. Do not make me regret this. Welcome to the... Really? Welcome to the flock. See? Wasn't a good first impression. Makes 4 barred rocks. Okay, so now what we have is we have in the adult pen, there's really not that many. We have my culls and we have some butcher boys. But every hen that I took from the other coop, the baby coop, the grow out coop, every hen I kept. So we ended up replacing 8 barred rocks and then several of my colored egg producers. So that's good. And all that is left over right now in the other coop is males, which is gonna make me probably divvy up what we've got coming out of the teenagers. I'm probably gonna divvy them up in between the two and just put the males over on the other side, because I don't need, you know, 2 or 3 females getting the brunt of all those males. And those males need to grow a little more in the grow out pen. The males that came over to the adult pen that have bands on are old enough and big enough to butcher. So they will be on the docket my very next butcher day. Okay, I seriously don't think this is gonna work. I've been at this for 4 hours, and I have chased those 16 around more than I've gotten anything productive done. They just go right through the sheep net, which I kind of guessed maybe they would do, but I was really hopeful they wouldn't. So yeah, sheep netting is not the answer. For some of them, there's like a core 10 that are staying in, but there's like 6 that are just continuously getting out. So I think it's going to be more work than it's worth, and I'm going to get these teenagers out of this tractor, get them banded, and continue on you know, with what I'm doing, but I don't think that I'm gonna be leaving the sheep net plan in place. I don't think it's gonna work. Okay, so I need to get these guys out. I need to get them banded and get them out and into the big pen, and then get this cleaned out and ready for the chicks from the brooder. So I'm gonna pull this. Ah! Yeah, awesome. Well, I don't know if you guys caught that, but I just dumped their entire swimming pool all over me. Good times. Okay, stop. Need your help. Out into the great outdoors you go, little ones. Got it all cleaned up for the new babies. I even hung the feeders this time. Got their pool all ready. And their water, nice clean fresh water. So come on out and discover it. There. Oh boy. What do you think? And I'm gonna go get their brooder cleaned out and ready for the next batch. Oh, I love that. We're already scratching and digging. There is still much work to be done, and as you can see, I'm filthy and I still have evening chores to do, so we're running on about 6 hours of doing this. And there's still chickens out. I don't even know, you guys. Yeah, there's still hens out. Okay, now the brooder is all clean and set up and ready for them. The only thing that's missing is their magic water, which will go right there. I just set that there so that you guys kind of got an idea of what the setup would be. The rocks are to keep the chicks from drowning, and then magic water is just simply water, honey, garlic, and apple cider vinegar. And of course they got their food, and then their grit over here, and their light, which they don't really need much of. So it's just like a 52 watt. It's very, 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 very low heat. Like basically it's just a house light. There's no, it's not a heat lamp at all, because we're still in the, you know, high 80s. So there you have it. And that is all for that little dude that you see eating his way out. How cute is that? Hey little man, we're ready for you. Whenever you pop out of that shell, we will be ready for you. So looks like there's a pip there. You can see his little beak working on it, getting his way out. And there's a pip there. Looks like we got a pip there. The pip is just where the chick has broken through or cracked the egg. That's what we call pipping. Looks like there's another pip there on that blue egg, right there. Oh, there's another pip there and another pip there. And another one there. there, and there. And then we're back to our little dude that's working his way out. I think it's safe to say we got chickens everywhere, you guys. Well, I'm a mess and I still have chores to do, but I wanted to get you guys the chicken migration full video. And so there you go. That was a day of me moving chickens around, getting ready for butcher, deciding who I'm keeping, deciding who I'm not. And again, I don't know if you guys are gonna see the barred rocks out in the pasture or not. They may end up back in the coop. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give it a good effort. A lot of times with keeping chickens in nets, it's training. But also I don't have the proper net. So I realize that you need a chicken net, not a sheep net. So, you know, learn from my lesson. If you guys want to have pasture chickens, use chicken nets. If you haven't bought one yet, use a chicken net. But I have a sheep net that was just laying in the barn, not getting used. So I want to try to train them to it. And there's just gonna be some that aren't trainable. And that's okay. They can hang out in the coop with everybody else. I was just kind of trying to thin things out, if you will, until I get a mass majority butchered. I was hoping to butcher today, but my canning ran over the last couple days and I didn't get the chicken migration done in time to butcher today. So that is just life. We just got to keep on going. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed me wrangling chickens. I am headed back out to wrangle just a few more and put them back out in the pasture where they're supposed to be. I will catch you guys on the next one. I hope you had a great day. Yours truly.